Now, here's a great place to visit when you're spending the day here in Eugene, the Museum of Natural and Cultural History. A museum, by definition, is an institution dedicated to displaying and preserving culturally significant objects. The purpose of modern museums is to collect, preserve, interpret, and display objects of artistic, cultural, or scientific significance for the study and education of the public. Museums are, above all, storehouses of knowledge. And that's exactly how we're finishing our day today. We're going to get some knowledge. This is Lexi Briggs, and she'll be our guide today.
This is the Museum of Natural and Cultural History here on the campus of the University of Oregon. We've been a part of the University of Oregon almost as long as the University of Oregon has been around. And we are the place where all kinds of stuff happens. We connect to each other, we learn about our communities, and we learn about all of Oregon, from the people who lived here long, long ago to the people who are living here now, to the communities who still are around, and the geology and the history and everything.
So can we just take a tour? Can we see what we'll just follow you.
This is Oregon where past is present. This is where we have our archaeological area. I mean, the first thing you want to see is the world's oldest shoes.
For real, the world's oldest shoes.
For real, the world's oldest shoes. They're not from China, they're not from India. We figure people were wearing shoes before this, but these shoes are more than 9,000 years old.
What?
And if you think about like 2,000 years ago was about when like Roman times were happening.
That's right.
4,000 years ago, roughly, that
Moses
was,
and everybody.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right.
And pyramids and things. This is 9,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, and that's even further back. And then also we have ancient poop.
Ancient poop?
Ancient poop, yeah. So we did some...
Hey, these old shoes says Nike on them. They've been around that long? No, I'm just kidding. It says Nike, but they're just spelled different.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, now we're going to check out some old poop.
Old poop, yeah. This is the evidence that we have that people were really here that long ago. This is 14,000 years old. Well, this piece is approximately 13,000 years old. But we found stuff that is as old as 14,000 years. And it's basically really, really, really old dried poop.
Yeah. Coprolite.
Exactly, coprolite.
Next time someone tells me a story, I say, "You're so full of coprolite."
Exactly. Yeah. It's been there a while. It's been there a while.
That's crazy.
You can tell a lot about people based on like what their diet was.
Vegetarian, guaranteed, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Not necessarily. But definitely not what people would call the paleo diet nowadays.
Right. Okay.
People ate a lot of plants back then.
Yes,
a lot of seeds.
Yep.
A lot of small local animals, all kinds of stuff. So
I gotta ask, is this Oregon poop?
This is Oregon poop.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, everything in here is Oregon based.
Well, let's see what else we got.
So one of my favorite things here is this children's sandal, which is, you can see it's like fuzzy. It's got rabbit fur in it.
Yep.
Which is just something that's so cool, like to think, I feel like that really connects us to the people who lived back then, right?
Mom and dad took care of their kids.
Right, they wanted their kid to be warm and comfortable, and you think about bundling your kid up in a car seat or, tucking them in at night.
Yeah, sure.
Same thing.
Same thing. So look at that. Sagebrush and rabbit fur. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Look at that.
One of the great things about this area is that we have some things, these technologies and these ways that people were building and weaving things together lasted and have lasted for so long. Like people still are using the same techniques, the same materials, the same ways of doing things. Some of these baskets in this case were made in the past 10 years, and some of them were 1,000 years old, basically. Maybe not 1,000 years in this case particularly, but the same technology is still happening here.
Oh, look at this.
This is a plank house.
This is actually for living in.
Yeah, this would be like on the South Coast. People would live in these plank houses. And this is a smaller version. This is not like, this is a mini-sized one. But this is a similar, like it was made the same way that people would have made larger plank houses.
This is before the mill times.
Yeah, they did it without these power tools that we have nowadays, but still did it in a way that works really well.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah. So here is our Explore Oregon. This is another permanent area exhibit.
This is what I'm talking about right here.
Stuff that we have one of the larger collections of oreodonts in the world. Oreodonts are something that doesn't exist anymore. It was a ice age creature. It might have looked a little bit like a sheep or a pig or something like that, but it has these.
I can see the picture of it right there.
Yeah.
Did you ever find the body parts to them too?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You did? Not just the skull?
Not just the skull. Yep, we've got full bodies, and they were all over Oregon. Now, Oregon was underwater for most of the age of dinosaurs. So we don't have a lot of dinosaur bones in Oregon. It's just the truth. We do have this pterosaur. We say it flew out over the ocean, fell into the water. This is a replica, but we have some real pterosaur bones. But yeah, this is a cool sloth. And what we have, so this is the real fossil. This is the leg fossil here. It's the femur. So from this bone, from a sloth.
Okay, I thought sloths were like this big, but that's...
Not back in the day.
That's
no. And
insane.
these guys were 9 feet tall, and they're actually the reason probably that we have avocados now. You look at an avocado, what ate an avocado? What was big enough to eat an avocado and spread their seeds? Giant sloths.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were pretty fast. And they coexisted with humans. There have been places where people have found sloth footprints with human footprints inside of them. This is a spike-toothed salmon. We found these fossilized salmon skulls. And the first ones that we found, they were squished from the top down. And we saw that they had these teeth. We didn't know how the teeth were oriented. So we figured, you think about salmon today, they have that kind of hook on there. We thought, all right, they must be like a saber tooth, like the cat, right? Turns out we found another skull and several other skulls that were not squished from the top down. Those teeth actually come out from the side. So we figured those were used as and this is about the size that they were or would have been. They were big fellas.
Yeah, that's a big.
I mean, salmon is a big fish, but this is a real big fish.
That's a real big fish. And saber-tooth salmon.
This is a dinosaur toe bone.
I would have never guessed that.
Yep, right? It was an ornithopod dinosaur. It probably died somewhere on the shore, bloated up, floated into the ocean, and sank. And then that's why it's here in Oregon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how we feel right now. Like we're all bloated up. We've been eating all day. All these. Eugene has a ton of amazing restaurants.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be bloated up and float and end up somewhere else and they'd find me. Oh yeah, they definitely ate seeds. I'm sorry. They look like there's little seeds in there.